You said we're going to do something to your brain.
Hello and welcome to Dead Air 15. It's the lime and the coconut. And that's a witch doctor! How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Lime or coconut?
Lime.
No, I'm the lime.
Oh, between the two of us, you mean?
Yeah.
I guess I'm the coconut.
Yeah. And you're the witch doctor! How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. It's been 2 weeks because of you.
Well, not because of me.
Because I wanted to do it last week.
Well, I couldn't.
You looked fine.
No, I did not. That's very nice of you.
Yeah, I mean,
You're
not
a nice
initially.
husband.
Do you want to explain what happened?
Yep. So, okay, last week we didn't have a dead air because a couple days prior, I was drinking a beverage. I went outside for a moment, came back inside, and sat down on the couch, and then took a drink of my beverage in an opaque container, and immediately recognized there was something in my mouth.
Which wasn't beverage.
Something very big, which was not beverage.
A big column.
And my first thought was bee, and then spit it out, and it was a bee. It was like a bee like this big.
Big.
A carpenter bee. And yeah, it was only in my mouth for like a second, but it stung the inside of my lip, right here. And it was extremely painful. And I looked like I was Lisa Rinna, but only the bottom lip.
I mean, your mouth looked like you were Lisa Rinna, but you looked more
bad.
like a candle that's carved into a human face. You kind of look like that. You know, imagine it if you've never seen one. A
candle that you carve into someone's face.
It's like a spa treatment.
You've been doing some naughty stuff.
No, a candle carved, not into someone's face. Sorry, I get it. A candle that has been carved into, not carved into.
Yeah.
Yeah, you look kind of like that, like someone had got and then kind of left like a little bit too close to the stove.
The bottom of my face
was no beading,
was like slightly square with the swelling. And then, yeah, especially the first day, the bottom lip, like, I thought my lip was going to split open. It was so painful. It was swollen up probably a good 5-6 times the size.
Yeah.
And I was talking a little bit like this. So we just decided to skip it.
Yeah.
And yeah, of course, you're like, you look fine. Like, no, dude, that's going to be distracting.
No, by Saturday, it was fine.
No, it wasn't. By Saturday, the swelling was mostly relegated to one side. So, like, this side of my face looked fine, and this side was, like, still doing this. And I was just like, nah. So if you see me, like, messing around with my lip, with my tongue, it's because the center on the inside is still a bit numb. I think I talk okay, but yeah, I keep messing with it. So, there you go. That's where we were last week.
Yeah, you look like a Toby jug.
Disfigured. Yeah.
Yeah.
A what?
A Toby jug. You don't know what a Toby jug is?
You can just keep saying it, and it doesn't mean that I know what you're talking about.
It's a like big novelty cup that is. It's kind of like, I suppose usually they're like that big, and they're like carved into faces, like of anything. Like you get one of Yoda, or like Oliver Reed or something. Anyone?
No, I'm not familiar now. This is America, sir. We have big gulps.
Yeah. It's definitely a British thing, that and buttons.
Sorry, what?
Yeah, buttons.
We have buttons.
We have loads of buttons. With people who wear buttons all over for some reason.
A giant wristwatch on a belt.
Yeah.
Yeah, so anyway, that was fun.
Bees?
Yeah. I mean, I knew exactly what it was when it happened because the same thing happened to me when I was a little kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you drinking a natty ice when you were a little kid?
No, it was a Mountain Dew. Like, outside. Yeah, I used to drink that shit when I was a little kid.
Yeah.
And yeah, same thing, just like, I think I was at a park. It was somewhere outdoors. And I ran over and picked up my drink and took a drink, and a bee stung me in the mouth. So,
yeah.
I mean, I know I'm not allergic. Well, I know now for sure. I haven't become allergic, so that's great. But yeah, load of fun. George was very kind the night that it happened. Like, it looks like it hurts. Are you okay? But I can also, because I know you, see in your eyes that you're dying laughing inside.
No.
So thanks for that.
Well, we do know that Botox look, like extreme Botox look, does not suit you. I mean, it doesn't suit anyone, but...
More like extreme lip filler look.
Yeah.
Yeah, that does not work. It doesn't work for anybody, but... Yeah, especially not for me.
Maybe it would have been fair if you got both stung.
I think that it would look ridiculous either way. Just
suddenly, like next week, you just have like enormous lips.
I know. When I told my mom about it, she was like, "Did you put on lipstick?" I sent her a picture of Lisa Rinna. I was like, "I look like this kinda," and she thought it was very funny. That's all.
Poor Lisa Rinna. They're her natural lips.
Are they? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, whatever. Non-natural, everything else. Anywho, what are we talking about this week?
Bees.
We did that. We saw the Frasier trailer.
We did. We saw the Frasier trailer. Are you excited for Frasier?
No. I mean, I'm gonna watch every episode. I'm sure we'll talk about it every week on the show. But, no, I'm not excited. There was like one joke in it, and it wasn't very funny.
It was like a play on words, I seem to remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something like, how Harvard you say that to me? I can't recall. Some kind of Harvard joke, I thought. It just wasn't very funny.
Yeah.
I still have not seen, like, after we saw that trailer, I looked up, like, a little bit, and it doesn't look like anybody's back but him, I'm pretty sure. And, that they have, like, doesn't he have, like, a British friend or something that they're introducing?
You saw the trailer, yeah. That's Rodney.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, are you excited?
Yeah, I am. I'm frothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I am, but not for the right reasons.
Yeah. What are your reasons?
I just want to pick it apart.
Yeah, right.
And I think the motivation of why I do this is... that's what fascinates me, is like, why do this? And yeah, the trailers didn't look funny. I mean, I think that Frasier really lost a lot of its shine kind of halfway through.
It's really the last, like, 2 seasons for me where it kind of slows down a lot.
I'll watch all of it.
We have watched all of it a number of times, yeah. Yeah, I mean, me too, but... Yeah, I mean, after Niles and Daphne get together, it's kind of like some of the steam comes out of it for me. There's such a build-up to that, you know? And then once that's, like, done and over with, you're kind of just stuck with Frasier's, like, 50-year-old man dating people.
Yeah.
And
dating people
can be
like
funny,
this.
but
yeah.
it's just there's so much of it, and we've seen so much of it. I don't know. We'll see what happens in this. Do you think we'll see any like guests that we haven't heard about? I think Lilith is going to show up. Because George is in love with Lilith. You should know.
What do you mean? What, Lilith the person?
Lilith the character.
Lilith the character, I meant, yeah. I don't know, I think she's funny.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, I'm thinking, I don't know, I get the sense it's going to be like a really conventional sitcom just with Frasier. And they're going to try and do, you know, yeah, it's going to be like farcical like it was, but it's not really going to have, I'm guessing it's not really going to have any of the wit.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah, I mean, I would expect that as well. And yeah, I mean, just, I don't know, we could be shocked. We could, you know, start watching it and be like, oh, this is just like old times. It's great. It could happen.
Yeah.
It's just I'll miss all the great side characters. No Bulldog.
Bulldog? You care about Bulldog?
I do like Bulldog, yeah, he's funny.
Man, no way.
Yeah, I think he's funny.
Yeah.
When he gets all territorial over Roz and her baby for, like, no reason.
Oh, yes, we've all seen Frasier. What do you think of Kenny?
Who's Kenny?
The station manager.
Oh.
Seasons 5 to 11 or something.
Yeah, it was alright.
Alright, so yeah, we're done with that incredibly important story there about we saw the Frasier trailer.
I think it comes out, like, this coming month, I think. So, I guess we'll see soon enough.
We could totally make reaction videos to trailers where it's just
I mean, that's pretty much it, yeah.
That is exactly what I expected.
Yeah. I mean, that sounds like every trailer, gotta be honest. Yeah. Next. Oh yeah, we watched Unhinged.
Unreasonable.
Unreasonable. Belligerent. Should have been the title.
Discourteous drivers.
Discourteous drivers.
Explain Unhinged.
Yeah. Russell Crowe is a unhinged dude. They kind of imply that, like, I guess his wife has left him and he has a drug problem, and that he, I guess, murdered his wife or something, and then comes across a woman who was ever so slightly rude on an exit leaving the highway because he was stopped at a green light and didn't move, and she honked at him. And then the rest of the movie is him chasing this lady in a universe where police virtually do not exist, and where our main protagonist, heroine lady, is extremely dumb.
Heroine lady?
Not that kind of heroine.
Good anti-hero.
Yeah, whatever. It's very stupid.
A theme tune could be bum 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 bum.
Remember the bit where...
Smack my bitch up.
Remember the bit where Russell Crowe is chasing her on the highway, and that's a lot of the movie, and causes an accident behind her. He, like, causes a cop car to get rammed by a semi, which was hilarious. Like,
by a cement truck.
Yeah, who did not even try to brake. He gave a little honk. It was just like, bah! And exploded into a million pieces. And then she's driving away with her kid, and she's, like, calls the police. She actually has a phone. And they're like, all units in that area are currently responding to a big accident, the one that Russell Crowe just caused. And then she's like, oh my god, we're all on our own, and hangs up the phone. And then the next shot is like a U-turn spot. Like, why don't you just turn around and go back where there's going to be loads of cops? Just lots of dumb decisions, but I didn't hate it.
It's essentially a chase movie.
Yeah.
About Russell Crowe hunting down a lady and her son in a car.
Mm-hmm. And killing other people.
Yeah, in the way, and acquiring her phone, and then, like, bargaining with her on whose family member he's going to kill next. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Which family member he's going to kill next, and yeah, it's a chase. So it's a kind of like a horror movie, but it never
like action thriller.
Yeah, I mean, you could have made the same script a horror movie, I suppose, because I originally sort of guessed, like, oh, is it going to be Duel? Mm-hmm. But that has a lot of tension in it, so no,
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was interested in, because I remember hearing about it.
Really?
It's from shut up, like 2020 or something, and people saying it sucked, and I was like, huh. I looked on IMDb, and there are tons of bad reviews that were like, Russell Crowe is awful. And then we watched it. I didn't hate it. I didn't. It was not good, but it wasn't offensive or bad. And Russell Crowe, I actually thought was properly maniacal. He was spooky and scary. Like, he did a good job of being a crazy person.
The problem was that we never understood his motivations.
His motivation is just he's an angry person.
What reasons could there be?
Yeah.
But the real problem, I guess, was tonal.
Yeah.
In that there were bits where I felt like it was trying to be nasty,
like very violent, and
violent, but not in a like we've just blown Marvin's head off way. In a kind of like a way that makes you go oh.
Yeah.
Trying to do that, and it almost got there at parts.
Being like pretty effective in little.
Like he's bits. Setting people on fire.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, there's a bit where he beats the shit out of McPoyle, her divorce lawyer, I think. Yeah. In the middle of a diner, he's like stabbing a dude and bashing his head in, and people are just staring and then get up and leave, and like that was nasty the way he attacked him. Yeah. But like, this is America, those old dudes back in the booth would like have a shotgun in their pocket and blow his head off. Yes.
Like
people would be on him.
I've seen videos like CCTV gas station videos, like gas station getting robbed, and like there was the one of like the Marine who came in like half drunk and just saw a dude robbing the place and like bashed this motherfucker in the head, like took him out.
This is America. Someone would be beating him and screaming, "This is America."
There are people who are like waiting for those opportunities. Yes,
Yeah, there'd be a guy in the back there who sees it happening and puts in his gun guard.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, a bit,
There are people waiting for those opportunities. Yeah, it is like that. It's like a fucking
cannot
zoo.
fucking wait. Yeah.
Yeah,
so it was unrealistic for sure, and I think that, but overall, what else do you have to say about it? Didn't hate it. I actually thought Russell Crowe was decent in it.
Well, so I was going to say that there are, it tries to be, or feels like it tries to be kind of, horrible and,
oh, right, total problems.
Yeah, horrible and sort of like chilling in the same way as something like Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer. Mm. But then it becomes it goes way too much for it to be real, and like you said, it's ridiculous. The logic of it doesn't work, which, you need, because he's not supernatural.
Yeah.
He's not Mike Myers.
Where he's like, he kicks down a door and he just busts in like the Kool-Aid guy.
Oh yeah!
Boo!
This is what I was gonna
walking
say.
through walls and shit.
Or it needed to be like Falling Down.
Yeah.
Where the guy can still be, in Falling Down he's kind of an anti-hero until the end. But he's not a hero, he's not a good person. He's gone off his rocker. And in this you could, I don't know, I'm not saying like make it funny, but
well, part of the issues like there with like the tone stuff was there'd be like moments where it was like bordering on funny and I couldn't quite tell.
Because it's Russell Crowe.
The end where she gets him, and like inflicts an awful wound, and then she has like a one-liner, a little quip to give him, and it's like tonal issues. Just pick a direction.
You mean where she stomps some scissors through his head?
Yeah, she kicks scissors through his head. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, she's like, "Here's your courtesy honk." I think something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
like he should have shit himself at that point, like really loudly, like.
I just think if you made it like a little bit more believable in the ways that he would like get out of the situations in various times, other than the police like shoot him in the shoulder and he just runs out the back door and then he's gone. What happened to that police officer? He just stood there. Anyway, a little more believable and like make it a little tiny shift more into like straight, almost like horror, and I think it would have worked pretty well overall. And make the lead character less dumb. Yeah. Because it was hard to sympathize with her.
Or, maybe the audience for this would have been smaller, but it would have been beloved. Make it like fucking hilarious and bonkers. And Russell Crowe's constantly talking to his 4x4 like, right, I'm gonna get that bitch Tugger.
This is 4x4.
Right. Yeah.
Oh my god, Russell Crowe.
And make it so like people are jumping on him and he's like the Hulk, like throwing them off.
Yeah.
Like he's got super strength. Yeah, he's busted. Yeah. He's fat, so that means he can like run through 2x4 walls.
That was so funny. We were just laughing at. He just like kicks the door like barely, and it like flies off the hinge.
Well, that's 300 pounds of Australian fucking muscle there.
And he's on Oxy as well. He's on like downers. I don't know. How does that work? Whatever. It needed to like kind of pick a lane a little bit more, I think. But otherwise, it was alright. I'm definitely guessing this was a streaming only exclusive thing. He was pretty good. I thought not Daisy Ridley was okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, anything else to say about that?
Kid was good.
Yeah, Kid was good. Yeah. That's a tough one to do. Non-annoying child actors. So, maybe I just find children annoying. I don't know.
Yeah, it was alright. It was, brainless.
Yeah, brainless, but, some stuff that's like that can be really fun.
Yeah.
Just, yeah.
Yeah.
It's alright.
Alright. No more Russell Crowing for you.
Alright, Tugger! Let's go find these Chinamen! It's so ridiculous. Yeah. Next, Savior Complex. This just came out the other day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you don't have a lot to say, do you? On HBO, 3-part series about religious lady who goes to Africa and plays doctor, is the short of it, in a
3-part
like feeding clinic. Yeah, 3 parts. One of the main reasons I was actually interesting.
It's not just about that.
No, it's not, and some of the other stuff is actually more interesting, which is different. Yeah, well, before this came out and the trailers were coming out, there were like people on social media saying, "Oh my God, is HBO gonna try and give this lady a platform and excuse what she did and blah blah blah?" It's like, have you guys ever seen a fucking HBO documentary? You know, that's not, just because they have her for interviews doesn't mean this is gonna be like from her side.
It's not quite as much about the NGO targeting her, but a lot of it's about that.
Yeah.
The NGO called No White Saviors.
Were they an NGO or are they just a social media account? I thought.
Well, that's part of the problem, because what
Yeah.
happened with them was one of the co-founders is accused of stealing money from their donations, and they didn't, whatever you have to do, incorporate or whatever until after they'd started accepting donations. So there's very little accountability. Where did that money go? We don't know.
Yeah, we only saw like a little clip in like the last episode of like a falling out between them, and I was definitely like, I want more of that. What happened to crazy lady Kelsey?
I read quite a lot about it. There's an input on inverse.com article about it. There's also a New Yorker article about it from like 2020. And they've accused each other, the two. I think there may have been 3 co-founders, but
I think there were 3, yeah. But it was the main
two of the co-founders have accused each other of stealing money from the organization, and it's kind of not super clear what they're doing, other than calling out people like Gerard Butler for taking photos with Ugandan kids.
Yeah. So it was interesting because you kind of had, as it went on, especially like after the first episode, and you learn more about No White Saviors, like kind of dueling bad guys in this story. Like it comes across like No White Saviors is really, just interested in kind of like capitalizing on some of this versus actually like helping anything.
If you read the input article, it mentions a couple of other people who they've targeted, and it alleges that they more or less just wrote shit about them that had absolutely no no sources or anything.
Lady who did, is it like a yoga studio?
Yeah, I think there was a lady, I think she was a doctor, Dr. Kiona or something, who ran a yoga studio in Kenya and got money, was partly funded by UNICEF to offer free yoga to people. And she'd lived there for like 15 years. And they accused her of all sorts of stuff, of like, sexually inappropriate stuff. And
like no evidence for it.
No evidence at all.
Just like destroyed her business. And
and so it's kind of hard to sort of know what's true, but it comes across to me like Kelsey, the white woman from No White Saviors, who's accused of stealing all the money, and who in the clip at the end of the documentary is like, "Don't you want to help black people?"
I thought you wanted to help black people.
To her black co-founder.
Like, some pretty abusive, gaslighty stuff that we saw just for like a few seconds. Yeah.
She's written posts about, she's got bipolar and she's been hospitalized for it before, and she's got like manic behavior, and I wonder if like a lot of it is actually really just her, kind of like.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I mean. Well, that's,
or was her? I don't know.
An area where like I kind of wish there was one more episode worth of the show, because I wanted to learn more about like Kelsey and No White Saviors and other shit they were doing. Yeah. I could have watched like an entire episode about that, and then the actual main lady Renee, who started a clinic for like undernourished kids originally, so that when they got out of the hospital, they could have a place where they could get food and kind of. Bring them back to health. And then it was more like people just started, bringing their undernourished children there, and, But, like, the clips of her, like, she had, like, Ugandan doctors and nurses who would give their medical opinions, and then her saying, like, no, that's not right. In America, we do this. She has zero medical training.
Yeah.
She's never even been to college. She was, like, 19 when she went there.
Yeah.
Knew jack shit. And there's, like, a nurse, Jackie, who volunteered with her for a bit, who was really the hero of the story.
Edie Falco.
Edie Falco, yes. Who was, like, you know, immediately noticing that you're doing things wrong, you're actually putting these children's lives at risk. And I kind of wanted, like, more of that. I wanted more footage of her being like, what's this thing here? What's that called?
Is that cirrhosis?
Is that cirrhosis on a baby? And,
Is she saying, what drug do we need? Is it diazepam? No, I mean epinephrine.
She said diazepam? No, epinephrine?
Epinephrine.
Epinephrine? What? Like, okay. Epinephrine, basically adrenaline.
Yeah.
Diazepam.
Is what you take when you've got to go against Sniper Wolf.
When you have to snipe, that's right.
Yeah.
Just, like, as a layman with zero medical training, like, I know what some of those words mean. What the fuck are you doing? And yeah, just her doctors and nurses who worked for her saying, like, well, she's the boss. You know, if you don't want to lose your job, you just do what she says. And yeah, a lot of crazy shit. Her putting, like, IV catheters into baby skulls and
She
shit.
did that once, though.
Yes.
And there was a doctor supervising.
Yeah. Well, there were, I mean, a lot of the footage that we saw, there were doctors and nurses around. And yeah, they would give their opinion. She'd be like, no. It was interesting stuff. Yeah, this was clearly about her own ego, you know, as being, like, you know, the savior of these poor Ugandan children. They estimated, like, 100 died in her care at the clinic. And there's all kinds of arguing about whether she did anything on her own without supervision from medical personnel.
100 died in her clinic out of just over 1,000.
900 something, I thought.
And, well, yeah, but they're the ones who lived. 900, yeah. And her mortality rate was like 14%, which is less than the local hospital.
Yeah, I get that, but she's still not qualified to be doing that shit. And
no, I agree.
yeah. So yeah, it's an interesting story for sure. And I was surprised that at the very end, Renee kind of had almost like some moments of self-reflection, which was interesting because you just never see that, you know.
Yeah, I mean, if you think of it one way, you know, the reason that clinic doesn't exist now is because of what she did. Because that's the reason she got run out of Uganda. If she'd have just administrated it like she was meant to, rather than get involved, it would still be open. Because it was doing good.
Yeah.
Those people had nowhere else to go.
Yeah, it's a complicated story with multiple shitty people and some people trying to do good and having not, you know, clear...
I mean, look, I agree. I don't like the idea of, like, you've got nowhere else to go, you come to my clinic, and now pray.
And yeah, and pray to Jesus.
I find that distasteful.
I'll feed you.
But that's better than...
I know what you mean.
Go back home and die.
Yeah, and then, you know, also the other side of that is, you know, oh, you're poor, you know, so you come to my clinic, so, you know, maybe I killed your baby, but, you know, that's better than the alternative, which was going nowhere. Like, you know,
Yeah, but, well, I agree with that, but did she kill that baby?
The kids who died of refeeding syndrome, I think, was definitely her fault.
Yeah, but there's actually quite a lot of debate within the medical community about whether the WHO's guidelines on feeding slowly is the correct one.
Well, I'm pretty sure everyone agrees on the guidelines for medication formulations for babies, you know, what they should be having by weight. But she tried to pass that off on everyone else, you know. Like, because there were like, one of the doctors that worked with her who was interviewed was like, yeah, we would say, like, she needs, you know, they need this amount of antibiotic, and she would say, no, they need much more. Yeah. And then she said, no, I just did what the doctor said, so, crazy shit. One, you know, kind of however you look at it. So it was pretty good. If you got HBO and you like that kind of stuff, I'd give it a watch, personally.
It's a slow start, I would say. It's kind of meandering
the first episode's pretty meandering. There's a lot of time spent on her and,
yeah,
you know, Jesus. And
what did you think of No White Saviors' library?
That was fucking ridiculous.
150 grand.
$150,000 to rent a building and put like 200 books in it.
Is that a nice coffee table?
Yeah. It looked like shit. It looked like, you know...
It looked like a waiting room for something else, not a library.
Yeah, I mean, for like a manufacturing facility.
Or
like
a dentist, you know, a nice dentist, you know, with these books.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess that was my main complaint overall with it, is I kind of wish there was more about some of that stuff, where we just dip our toes into some of these things and then they're kind of like gone. I kind of wish there was more.
Yeah, it's not over yet, I suppose.
Yeah, I suppose not. So yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say check it out if you like documentaries. Yeah. Anything else to say about that?
No.
Okay. Do you want to next year mention Starfield?
Next year?
Next, I said.
Yeah, well, briefly I was going to say that I said before that I was going to do a Starfield playthrough, and I did record one, but I'm not going to put it up because I found the game a bit kind of boring at times, and I'm not sure it would be the most entertaining video.
Because you played several hours on your own at first, and then you were like, I'm bored. There's no radio on this. Can I start a new character, and will you sit here and talk to me while I do it? And then it was still boring. So
yeah, and I think really for me that was as much to do with the way I consume games.
Mm-hmm.
I never play a game like for half an hour straight.
Yeah.
Like on it, you know, I will get up and feed the dog.
We do a lot of faffing around.
Go outside,
playing games, yeah.
and have a coffee, and come in and take a shit, and
go out and have a tea on the front porch. Let the dog play some more. Yeah, maybe push pause and go have some cheese or something.
Yeah, I don't play any game without watching TV in the background. Yeah. Usually something I've seen, but
yeah, I mean, there are some that I can't, and yeah, I know what you mean. Like it's typically stuff we've seen before. It's just kind of like background noise for quiet moments. There are some games where I can play just with game audio.
If it's very narrative based.
Depends what it is. Like I can play Subnautica with my over-ear headphones and just listen to the score and the sounds of the creatures and stuff. And Skyrim I can do with headphones and not have anything else on. But generally, yeah, we're usually listening to something else and taking plenty of breaks and yeah. So I get you.
So there you go. Just to mention that.
It probably was boring
playing it with you, but
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the funnest part for me was when we finally met the adoring fan, and we were like giggling for a solid 5 minutes.
Yeah.
About that. That was pretty good.
And
you landed miraculously yet again.
Yeah. And meeting. You flirting with me? Let me tell you about my girlfriend.
Oh yeah, that was funny.
Yeah. Donna.
Yeah, let me tell you about Donna. So I took my girlfriend Donna over on a vacation. I'm thinking that me and Donna...
Going over a loop with him.
Yeah, we're like, let's go find Donna.
And we did?
And we did. And she's like, my boyfriend.
Yeah.
It was very funny.
Yeah. I love the social commentary in Starfield when you meet Donna and she's like mopping floors and she's like, I love my job. Yeah. My supervisor says I'm the best handy woman in the world.
Great social commentary. Everybody's happy.
Not everyone, but... Anyway, I've stopped playing Starfield.
Yeah.
Oh, am I going to start ranting about Starfield?
Yeah, I mean, I think that I don't think
right.
You played a little more after you did the Starfield video, but I feel like your opinions about it haven't really changed from what I recall of you talking about it every day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, done with Starfield, huh?
For now.
For now, yeah.
No, I will go back to it for sure, and
I think what you said in the video is spot on. That like in a few years, this will be a fun.
Well, thank you very much.
No, I agree with you. Like from watching you play it and stuff, like it just feels like there's so many holes in it, where there should have been other content, and I think it will be a decent game in a few years. But also, like you said, some things they can't really fix. So I don't know. The world seems boring. There's no real conflict, you know.
Not a lot of flavour.
Yeah, not a
really.
lot of flavor. You know, the story could be boring, but if it's a really interesting world, then you can still enjoy it. But, yeah. I'm sure you will go back to it, but... Anything else to say?
I did the full story, and I did loads of the side quests. I did the whole UC Vanguard side quest where you're fighting Deathclaw Alien. I did the 3-star Rangers. And like they never comment on like, oh, you're a 3-star deputy. Or whatever.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I get you, yeah.
man, New Vegas had it where you piss people off and they don't forget.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like, you know, I don't think that either of us had anything unreasonable that we wanted.
No.
If it had the same engine and like the same level of complexity as Fallout 4, but in space, I would have been happy with that. With a fun world.
I went back to Skyrim.
Kookiness. Yeah.
And just messing about, I was like, oh my god, I can kill Bellathor.
Yeah.
They'd never allowed me to do that.
I remember good games.
In Starfield. Killing Bellathor. Killing Trashcan Carla.
Yeah.
I know, you've been talking to the Institute and now you die.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway.
I mean, blasting father with a fat man from across the top of the building.
Was that how you did it?
Last playthrough, yeah. That was fun.
I always get him at the tall building as well. Last time I had a super sledge, like a rocket-powered super sledge, because I was playing on my idiot savant. What's his name? Inspector Clouseau.
Yeah.
Playthrough. Who ended up? So I didn't want to put anything in intelligence. So he ended up with like 11 strength.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm just blasting him.
And like really high luck. Yeah. It's like throwing him across the
Like a
fun.
spat.
Yeah. Fun stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think it's terrible, but
Yeah, I get you.
I'm tempted to play Cyberpunk at some point. I've never played it.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember when we were looking at comments on the Starfield video, there were a number of people saying you should check out like Cyberpunk, that the new update or whatever is good, and you still have to deal with Keanu Reeves, I guess.
That's not a problem.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
He seems nice, you know, the person, but all I really have seen of Cyberpunk is the stuff from when it came out.
I mean, I'm assuming it's Keanu Reeves playing Ted. So like everything you do, it's like whoa.
Isn't he like a rock star hologram or something in that?
He's like Zaphod Beeblebrox. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know a lot about it either. So yeah, maybe you check that out sometime.
Yeah. Adam Smashing Pumpkins, I think his name is.
What? Yeah. Right. Well.
Oh, that's his descriptor. Adam. He is Smashing Pumpkins. What's next?
World of Warcraft. I know you don't have much to say. I played World of Warcraft like 17 or 18 years ago. And got bored of it, and
I divorce you. I divorce you. I divorce you.
As if. And I don't know.
When did you stop collecting Warhammer?
I've never played Warhammer. I've watched people play it, and it's boring as shit. Just my opinion. I'd rather
I
play a
can't
video
imagine
game.
watching someone do it.
I'm not measuring little shit. Like, God. Play a game.
It made a lot more sense before video games.
Yeah, totally.
I don't know. I mean, I can see the appeal of painting models and building your own army and stuff.
I get, yeah. I mean, you know, I liked Magic the Gathering when I was a kid too, but now I have more video games.
Yeah, I never played Magic.
World of
Warcraft. So you used to play the World of Warcraft.
Yeah, years ago. I think I played it for like a year, maybe. Enjoyed it.
Like a year straight. Like that's the game time you got on it.
When I wasn't at work, it kind of was like that. And yeah, I quit because it's just like... my problem with a lot of MMOs, to me, is just the whole, you know, things feel repetitive. You don't feel like you're having an actual impact in the world. You know, there isn't really an end game, and they kind of introduced like a newish end game with expansions, and I just kind of got bored with it. But I don't know, just the other day was thinking like, I'd really like to play something with you. Man, I wish we could play a game together. That we haven't already played the hell out of. So we got the free trial.
I told you I want to try Human Fall Flat.
What?
I made you put it in your wish list like 4 years ago. 4 years ago. Wish list.
I don't remember.
Human Fall Flat. It's like a physics game.
Okay, right.
You can have two people.
Okay.
Like solving stuff.
Yeah, right. Gotcha.
It looks ridiculous and fun.
Yeah. Well, I told you that we should play Portal 2 on 2 players sometime.
I've already done it with Damien.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to do that again.
Okay, sure.
Fucking little robots.
I guess we could always check out the new Valheim expansion, update, but haven't, just because I feel like it'll be like same problem as before. We'll do the new biome and beat the new boss or whatever, and then kind of have nothing to do.
It's the problem with any game. World of Warcraft then, so what were your experiences on it? Were you, I don't know.
It was alright.
Okay, alright.
It's fun. I mean, definitely things are way different now than back when I played. They've had like shitloads of expansions, and this whole like starting in a new player starting area thing was kind of threw me for a loop. Just because, like, well, shit, if I'd known that, then, you could have picked a different race from me or whatever. The whole idea of we should pick the same one is we'll start in the same area. And it's like, oh, it didn't really matter. But I had fun with you, though. It looks better than what I expected it to. I don't know if they've done anything with, like, updating the graphics, but...
So, I've obviously been playing World of Warcraft for the first time.
Yeah, first time.
What I didn't realise... was how absolutely bananas the world is.
That's part of the fun.
I knew it was going to be fantasy. Is it? Yeah, I can see that. I mean, there's like gnomes turning into like fucking motorcycles.
Yeah, you were. Yes, we were. Yeah, like turning a quest, and you're like, "Did you see that? This guy just turned into a mechanoid motorcycle with a sidecar."
Yeah, with a driver. Like he's not even driving it.
Yeah,
pretending.
It's a bananas world. For sure. Yeah.
Or the gnome one is. Mecha ostrich.
Yeah, I think God, what do they call it? I can't recall, but I think that's their base mount. Yeah.
I mean, I'm guessing that really the appeal is the need for teamwork.
Yeah, but you can
it's otherwise quite straightforward and dull.
Yeah, the story stuff is not that interesting. I do think that some of the like regions. Like, in terms of design and look, are a lot of fun.
We
really cool.
Been there yet.
Yeah, all we've done is the starting area and then gone into Stormwind, and that's kind of it at the moment. But there's a lot of fun regions, and yeah, I mean, Battlegrounds can be fun if you're into that. PvP stuff. I think both of us starting as rogues, I'm actually more interested in doing Battlegrounds now. I don't know if it's the same as when I played, but rogues were fucking the tits in Battlegrounds back then.
Yeah, I think that, okay, maybe.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
The only person I know other than you who played World of Warcraft was, like, deeply into it. So...
Oh, see, I was never like that. Like, there were... Yeah, when I played...
I mean, I remember when Go on.
I was going to say, when I played, I was in a guild, but it was like a social guild. Just like, if you need help with some... No, it was actually pretty nice to be like, I need a 5th person for this, dungeon or whatever. And somebody would be like, oh, I got nothing going on, I'll come heal for you or whatever. That was nice. But some guilds treat it like it's a motherfucking second job. Like I'm not joking. Like, from this time of day to this time of day, we are always on, no breaks. Like, I don't want to do that. I want to play a game to have fun. I don't want it to be... Like, there are people who, like, just want to grind levels and get, like, we must do a 20-man raid because I must have that purple sword. Like, I just want to have fun. That's why I'm playing games, not to work.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it depends on how you play it.
Yeah. I can see that. I mean, the person I knew, I remember when Lich King came out, he was part of a raiding guild. Like, he had to apply. Yeah,
there are ones you have to apply and get accepted.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
He was a tank for them, and he was doing 20-hour days.
That's absurd.
Doing it.
There's some that make you play...
complaining about migraines and things like that.
Yeah, well, because that's unnatural. And, like,
yes.
When are you sleeping and going to work?
Well, I remember him telling me that it was New Year's Eve.
I remember this, yeah. Go ahead, tell them, yeah.
Yeah, he made a cheese sandwich, and I think the story was he took a shit, and then... Only because he had to take a shit, he looked at his watch and it was like 12:15, and then he was like, "Oh well, back to it."
Yeah.
Back to it, and yeah.
That's not fun, yeah. I mean, yeah, there are ones that are, like, fucking ridiculous. There are, at least when I played, I'm sure some of it hasn't changed. There are, like, raiding guilds, like, yeah, you have to apply, and then you get taxed on, like, all of your treasure and money that you make in the game. Like, in-game gold and silver. Like, you have to pay a certain amount, and, like, I'm not fucking doing that.
Do you have to just self-declare? Do they audit you?
You get an audit, you have to do your taxes, yeah. I don't know. But, yeah, I mean, I might play a little bit more. And just see, because I do think the world's fun. And, yeah, it is absolutely kooky, banana shit. I mean, the combinations of just, like you said, yeah, you know, goofy stuff. Did you see the movie at all? I don't think you did you? No. They made a movie, a very expensive movie that nobody liked. Oh. Ben Foster was in it. As a mage, I think. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I know, you like Ben Foster.
I did.
Yeah. I mean, that's all I got, really. I might mess around some more while you're editing in a bit, or whatever.
What's next?
Last thing on the list, San Francisco pods you wrote down.
Oh, yes, I saw, what?
Nothing, I'm chuckling.
Why?
Because you're like, oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I saw a brief article about San Francisco pods. It's, I suppose, a private company has opened nothing particularly new pods you can rent for, I think, like $700 in one part of San Francisco. Mm-hmm. And they are 4 feet tall and basically the size of a twin bed. Mm-hmm.
For $700 a month. A coffin, basically.
All inclusive. Mm-hmm.
Well, what, are you going to shower in your bed?
No, but
inclusive of what?
There's bathrooms, like communal bathrooms, communal kitchens.
Just live in a tent in the woods. Yeah, that's mental.
Yeah. But I suppose the reasoning is, well, San Francisco, you know, if you're going to make like $4,000 a month, like, yeah, you can't afford the $3,000 for a tiny 1-bedroom, but you can afford $700 for a coffin. Would you know, if you're making $4,000 a month, is it worth it living in a tent in the woods, or is it worth it making $3,300 and living in, you know, human places?
Human places. Yeah, I don't know, to each his own, but that seems absolutely insane. Just, I don't know. I mean, I like to say just move, but, you know, it is more complicated than that. People have family and, you know, their connections might all be in the same area. I don't know. I could not imagine.
Well, this one in particular is aimed at, like, people doing, like, tech startups. For whatever reason, like one of the quotes was about, like, this is what you do when you believe in your product.
How long until the tiny home, like, turning it into like a posh luxury?
It's already happened.
We're not poor. No, I mean, how long before that transfers to the new $700 coffin thing? Well,
that's kind of what this is. It's not like, you know, you were down and out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, although. I mean, we've always had flop houses and DOS houses for people to...
Say dust house.
DOS house.
DOS house?
Yeah. Well, what does flop mean?
I don't know.
Well, there you go. Read between the lines.
Alright, done.
Yeah, well, what do you think about that?
Mental.
We've seen capsule hotels and hostels before in Japan and Hong Kong.
If you're into that, go for it.
What do you mean if I'm into it?
I'm not talking about you. I mean, like, if people are into that, living in a pod or living in a coffin, that's fine. I don't care.
Well, I think especially some people in Hong Kong don't really have much of a choice.
Yeah, no, I get you. Yeah.
I read an article where it's like an 80-year-old man living in one of these places, and it's still like $400 a month.
Yeah.
I think the average rent for a studio in San Francisco is something like $2,200 for a studio.
It's pretty mental.
Well, what I was going to ask, okay, so you kind of like, I suppose, started with the tiny pods thing. What is this about? Is this overpopulation, or is this just not meeting housing demand?
I think not meeting housing demand certainly comes into it, but also, I wonder if there's much in terms of collusion among rentiers in terms of like, well, the market rate is the market rate, so let's just make sure that the market rate stays high. Nobody starts selling stuff for cheap. I don't know.
Well, yeah, I mean,
I'm sure San Francisco can be a cool city, but is it that fucking great?
I don't think it's about being cool. I think it's, there's a lot of jobs there.
Yeah, I understand.
Especially in the tech sector.
But, yeah, no, I get you. I mean, you don't like to judge what choices people have to make, but,
You're you.
Maybe try and get a work-from-home job.
You'll be judged from the day you're born until the day you die.
I know they're people are trying to get rid of that shit, too.
Yeah, become a farmer in South Dakota.
I don't know.
Well, I guess what interests me about it is that, obviously that's not all over the country.
No.
It's where the money is and where the jobs are. Mm-hmm. But you've got that, while simultaneously a lot of people saying we're not replenishing the population fast enough. There's going to be a demographic crisis.
Yeah.
Well, this is why. Try and raise a family in a pod.
That great meme, you've probably seen it, where it's like, why aren't millennials having more babies on an article? And just a response that was like, that's because rent is $1,500 and jobs paying $10 an hour or something. Like, yeah. I can't imagine why, people our age are choosing not to have kids. Plus, God, I saw, just briefly, actually, I didn't mention to you this morning, but if you're interested, I read an article this morning about, Mark Cuban funding a study on, hospital, pricing, because there was legislation passed that hospitals are supposed to have, an online record of most of their services and what they charge for them, and, some researcher was like, I don't know if that's the case, I don't know, we'll see. Mark Cuban funded the study where researchers checked the prices online and then called the same hospitals and asked for prices using, the same billing codes, the exact same procedures, and wildly different prices. A hospital would say $10,000 for a vaginal birth, and then when you called on the phone, they would say $20,000, twice as much in some cases.
Why?
I can't remember why I brought this up, but oh, having kids, it made me think of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why? Freedom. America. Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's about it. Yeah, isn't it any wonder that, people don't want to have kids? And I don't even think that that's that widespread. I don't know.
Well, no, it isn't. Numbers, there's a population boom in other parts of the world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
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 Yeah. Well, this reminded me as well, so I looked it up again. It's not really that relevant to it, but I think it's an interesting story. Mm-hmm. There's definitely a Wikipedia article and other articles about it. Have you ever heard about St. Matthew's Island in the Bering Sea? It's a small, it's about 30 miles long island that it's got foxes on it, and I think foxes and voles are the only mammals on it, and it's covered in lichen. Some of the lichens are feet thick.
The Bering Sea. Yeah.
And I think in 1944, the U.S. Coast Guard or the Navy or whatever set up a radio station there. And when they did that, they also introduced 12 elk onto the island with the idea that if these people get cut off by a storm and we can't get supplies in, they can hunt the elk. So then after the Second World War, they left the island and they left the elk there, and those 12 elk became 6,000 elk by 1960 in like less than 20 years. Because there was so much lichen and no natural predators. And then in 1980, they were all dead. All of them. Because the population like grew exponentially because there was infinite food, but then it grew to the point where it wasn't like there was a slow decline in available food. It was just suddenly there was no food because they had grown and grown and they just ate it all. And then lots died of malnutrition, starvation, but the ones that survived weren't in the position to breed. They'd all all the ones left had like grown up with malnutrition, couldn't procreate and things like that.
Yeah,
Because you'd think that it would reduce the population to a small size, but not kill everything. But well, it didn't, the starvation didn't kill everything. It's just that the things it didn't kill didn't have any babies. Elk babies.
Babies.
Yeah.
Elk is good though. Right, yeah. Humans.
No, elk.
I get you, yeah.
Well, I didn't mean that in a kind of like, oh, that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Sort of way. I just sort of brought it up because I found it interesting. But,
Yeah, right.
You could sort of see it as a parable for the long-term future of just... I suppose, the idea of, peak oil is actually the last drop of oil. It isn't like peak oil is... We get to a peak and then like taper. It's like everything is expanding until suddenly it's not.
Right,
and not just not expanding, but done.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, right.
Like elk don't have the foresight to taper themselves to... But neither do we. Perhaps.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, right. Interesting stuff. Sorry I don't have anything to say. I just might have to think on that for a bit.
Yeah. What about?
Just some stuff you were saying. I don't know.
Okay, I got one last thing.
Okay.
Donald Trump is in a bit of hot water, isn't he?
Is he?
91 felony counts. And, there's some talk about, like, well, is he going to go to jail? Well, if he hadn't been the ex-president, he'd already be in jail. He said some wild shit about Millie. That he would have been executed.
Yeah.
But what I was going to ask, actually, was a lot of people, kind of like, it's a bit of fantasy, like, oh, what's it going to be like for him in jail? And I was going to think, like, if they ever had to put an ex-president in jail, whether it be Trump or whatever, surely they'd make them a special jail. Don't you think?
I don't know.
Because there was this prisoner in, I can't remember where. I want to say one of the Carolinas. It was somewhere where they didn't have the death penalty, but he was like hyper violent, and he killed a prison guard, but they couldn't execute him for it, and he was like very dangerous towards prison guards. So they built him a special cell where they didn't have to actually physically interact with him at all.
Yeah, I don't know.
Not that you need to do that with Donald Trump, but I mean, like, you could just build him a separate prison where he's still got like his... He's in like a Hannibal Lecter cage, but he's still got like Secret Service men like pretending to be lampshades going, all clear.
Pretending to be lampshades, yeah.
He's going for shit.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's pretty unprecedented, so I don't know where all this will go. I mean, my assumption is he would end up at a club fed, like with his own cell.
Probably his own cell block.
Like
Rudolph Hess.
Elaine Maxwell didn't get that. I mean,
she wasn't the president.
I know, but but she still got shit that I think most prisoners in this country don't fucking get. She got her own room. She got like a computer with internet, and
So she could get on Reddit.
You get on Reddit. Oh god, that's the whole other thing. Yeah, get on Reddit and complain about statutory rape laws. Yeah. Yeah, I just don't know. He wouldn't go into a, like Jen Shaw prison or something and just have his own room where it's like, okay, Mr. Trump, today's yoga day, and tomorrow we're having gourmet tacos for lunch.
Yeah.
More than likely.
Gourmet tacos. That's ridiculous. You want the opposite of that. You want a big sloppy street taco.
Yeah.
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 Iceman. Iceman Cometh. Anything to say about those tapes?
Oh, no, actually, I thought they were interesting, but I did not prepare my thoughts for that.
Well, there are these tapes on HBO. They're interviews with the real-life killer who's called Iceman. That's not his real name. And he claims to have killed over 100 people. He's dead now. The interviews, I think, from 1991, 1993, and 2003 or something like that. And he started off essentially as a serial killer and then ended up as a hitman for the mob. And the interviews with him are fascinating.
Yeah, they were interesting,
and
yeah.
kind of, what you would expect. But, and he's interesting and pretty terrifying at times, and not quite sure you can believe everything he says, but it's nonetheless worth a watch.
Yeah.
But I thought what was interesting was they made a movie.
Oh yeah.
About him.
I forgot we watched that.
In 2017 or something
yeah,
like that.
Starring Zod.
Zod. Yeah.
Who I thought did fine.
Zod's always good.
He's always good, yeah.
Yep, Schwimmer did fine.
What?
David Schwimmer did fine.
I guess he was doing an interesting... Hey, man, like, I'm a New Yorker and I'm a mafia guy. I'm like, I don't believe you, David Schwimmer.
And with the film, you can tell... I thought David Schwimmer was good because he was kind of meant to be like a worm. In the film, you can tell that they've seen the same interviews we saw because they reference them at points.
We watched the film like right after watching the interviews, yeah. So, yeah, they reference it, like exact kind of lines in his descriptions and stuff.
But they change everything else. Where the real life murderer makes clear, like, he started off by being a really angry young man who had a terrible upbringing, and like he would kill people outside of bars for like no reason, for like his own gratification. He was, a serial killer.
Yeah, a piece of shit. Like
an absolute piece of shit. And they change it so they make this guy like.
They try to make him like
to be co-opted,
sympathetic.
To be co-opted by the mob.
That was really weird. Yeah.
And it's not just that I object to them making like a real horrible piece of shit like that.
Like into like a hero almost.
Yeah. I do find that objectable. But like it would have been a way better movie if they'd have kept to the facts. Because he was really creepy. And you got the sense like he was really fucking dangerous. Like you could never ever... You could be his best friend and he might kill you.
No, I get you, yeah. And you've got a great actor in Zod who could totally pull off, doing something a bit darker and more complicated, Yeah, that was strange. Just kind of... Yeah, they definitely tried to, like spin it in such a way as, like, him being, like tricked into the mafia by
Ray
Liotta,
who provides like the only point really of actual tension. I mean, there's
just by being Ray Liotta and doing his acting.
Yeah. It's his greatest role since B-movie. Fucking mosquitoes. There's a bit in a car where he's threatening Iceman, and it's just like really intense. Like he should have been Iceman. Yeah. It's really
they just wrote that. I guess wrote it in such a way where he had the opportunity to do something interesting. Yeah, it was weird. If you actually, because obviously, like we said, they'd seen those the same interview. You got it. The same interviews that we did, and then just kind of like picking certain lines. but not paying attention to, like, the context of, like, this guy is a psychopath and full of shit, and, you know...
Yeah, and when he says, I didn't feel anything, he's lying.
Yes, in the interviews, like, he's, you know, he talks about, you know, and the guy, the interviewer's like, how did you feel when you killed the guy? Nothing, I feel nothing. Well, why'd you do it? Because he pissed me off? Like, that's fascinating stuff.
Yeah.
You know, you could really write an interesting character off of the real guy without, like, trying to dumb it down in such a way as to just make it a thing where, like, you feel bad for him. And they didn't even, like, succeed at that. It was weird.
Yeah, it was weird. I don't understand why make it like that.
I don't understand either why do it like that. The real story is so much more interesting and nuanced and...
Yeah, and horrible.
Horrible, yeah.
Yeah.
So
there we go.
There you go.
Cool.
That's the end of the list.
That's the end of the list.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, cool.
Anything else to say?
Nah, good to be back.
Nah.
Glad my lip's better.
Yes. Alright, thanks very much for watching this, I guess. No, I mean, thank you, but...
Yeah. Cool, thanks.